So we have the rule 7 that has to do with synonyms, titles, and other inscriptions that have to do with the use of end. Now we have food and nutrition, which is a subject, or like a title. We have checks and balances, which is a topic. We have sons and daughters, which is also a title of a book. But all these, even though joined by end, the singular verb is required. So you can say that food and nutrition are interesting subjects. No, it's one thing as a subject. Therefore, food and nutrition is my favorite subject. If you come here, checks and balances was propounded by Baron de Montesquieu. Was propounded, you can say where, because it's just a concept. It's a maxim, it's a doctrine. If you come here, we have sons and daughters. Was written by, or is an interesting story. And remember this, this song, a gospel song. Power and might belongs to our Lord. Power and might. So including synonyms. So power and might, synonym. Synonyms, even though you join it with N, they take the singular verb. So power and might belongs, anybody out there who is a Christian, who is singing and doesn't add the S, the blood of Jesus will not visit you. So power and might belongs. Power and might is singular verb. We also have something like FIFO, LIFO. FIFO and LIFO. The business students call it first in, first out, and last in, first out. And so FIFO and LIFO is difficult to calculate, or it's a difficult area in financial accounting, in costing. FIFO and LIFO refers, all these has to do with the rule 7. This is our next rule as far as subject-verb agreement is concerned. So we have indefinite pronouns such as somebody, no one, nobody, each, name them. All these are called indefinite pronouns. Indefinite pronouns because they don't refer to a specific person or a particular person. It is referred to people in general. And so when someone says somebody, everything, everyone, all these are termed indefinite pronouns. And now, when someone asks you, how are you? You say, oh, everything is cool. You can say everything are good. Because everything, it's a what? It's an indefinite pronoun. And the rule is that indefinite pronouns take singular verbs. Indefinite pronouns such as somebody, nobody, everybody, nothing, no one require singular verbs. Therefore, nobody knows tomorrow. That is what medical will tell you. Nobody knows tomorrow. Nobody knows tomorrow. So nobody knows tomorrow. Or Vashata will also tell you, everybody likes my team, likes my team. I don't know whether it's a like or likes, but whatever it is, the point is that everybody likes my thing. And in music, sometimes grammar doesn't matter, because if you say everybody likes my thing, it will not sound pleasant to the ears. But when everybody, everything, whatever. So everybody likes my thing. That is what Shatta says. Now when you come here, if you go to Kumasi, there is a radio station, Silver FM, and their logo, their slogan is that nothing shines like silver. Nothing is good. Nothing is working. Coronavirus, nothing is working to what? Alleviate it. Or if you like, to end the whole thing. So nothing shines like silver. Shines, singular. When we come here, no one in Asana knows the whereabouts of Bob Little, a book titled Ancestral Sacrifice. If you are a student out there, you have not read this book, please get it and read it. And you see how people write. Mrs. Little woke up late. She was disturbed. A deep sense of fear flashed through her heart, like sickness, and a strange feeling enveloped her. I mean, you see how it's written. So that when you are writing an essay, you will not be writing things like, once upon a time, there lived a man, who is really. All these are repetitious. Look for books like this and read, and you will notice that we have the language, and the language is rich. No one in Asana, no one knows the whereabouts of Bob Little. That is an extract from Ancestral Sacrifice. Now, it will also interest you to know that when you take the Bible and check John 6:37, the Bible says that anyone who comes to Jesus Christ will not be turned away. And so John 6:37 has said that I will never turn away anyone who comes to me. I will never turn away anyone who comes to me. So anyone, what? Indefinite pronoun, who comes, singular, to me. You can also check, if you like, Numbers 31 verse 49. After the war, the Israelites came to Moses and said that we counted and no one is missing. Numbers 31 verse 49. After the war, the Israelites came to Moses and said, we counted and no one is missing. So we see no one, indefinite pronoun, is taking a singular word, a singular verb. Let us look at the next rule, which has to do with positive subjects. Now, you should admit us to also realize that a verb agrees with a positive subject and not a negative subject. If you look at the examples we have here, we have Nanado's ingenuity, which is the positive subject. The one that has the not is the what? The negative subject. So we expect that the verb makes here, this verb will not agree with the negative subject, but the positive subject. So Nanado's ingenuity, not his many good speeches, makes him popular. Remember when you were doing three set problems in mathematics? They said 3 students or 30 students led maths, not science. Offer. You'll be there and discombobulated. You don't know what to do. But the point is that with respect to what we have here, we have the positive subject as this and the negative subject. The verb agrees with what? The positive subject, which is singular, ingenuity, therefore makes. When you come to the next one, Asamwajan, which is also positive subject, comma, not these people. These people is plural because you have the day, you have Asian, you have Muntari, you have Thomas Tepati, which is plural. But because they are attached with not, it makes it negative. The verb here is will agree with Asamwajan. So if we bring this here and send that one there, it will read Dede, Asian, Montari, and Party, not Asamwajan. Ah, then you go on. The first one too, if we bring this here, it will read his many good speeches, not Nanado's ingenuity. Ah, something. Or any verb without the S, which is plural. So that is about the 9th rule. A subject or a verb agrees with the positive subject and not the negative subject. Let's look at the 10th rule. Now we look at the use of where, there, and here. Now it would be interesting to know that when you say where, there, or here to start your sentence or to begin your sentence, the subject is soon to come. Therefore, you cannot tell whether the verb will be singular or plural until you know what is following that verb. Now, if what is following that verb is singular, then the singular verb will be used. If what is following that verb is plural, then obviously the plural verb will be used. Now, let's consider this. That is why we say that when you have where, there, or here, it is plus or minus s. When you say plus or minus s, we are talking about the verb. A verb plus s is giving you a singular. And then a verb minus the s is giving you plural. So, there come Sonia and Nadia. Now, we are using come, which is plural. A verb plus the, a verb without the s. We are using come because we are mentioning two names. There come Sonia and Nadia, Juliet Ibrahim's sisters. There come. Now when you come here, we have there comes Sonia alone. So because Sonia, singular, is following the verb, we are using the verb, the singular verb comes. So there is Sonia, or that is Sonia, because of Sonia, which is singular. Here we have plural. So there come Sonia and Nadia. When you come here, you can say that where is Peter and Philip, or where is Peter and Paul? No, because what is following the verb is plural. Peter and Paul, or Peter and Philip. Where are they? You can say where is they? Where are they? Just as we have there come they. So there come them, because this one is a verb which is a main verb, but here is an auxiliary verb. Remember when you look at pronouns, after auxiliary verbs or helping verb, you have a pronoun, which is the subject. So where are they? But here we read there come them, because this is a main verb. So here is the orange you requested. Here is We are using the is because of orange, singular. Plural, so plural. Plural, so plural. Here are now oranges. Therefore, we are using are. Remember, when you use the verb request, you don't bring for. Someone will end this statement with for and say that here is the orange you requested for. No. When request is used as a verb, it doesn't take for. So I requested money from my father, not I requested for money. But if I use it as a noun, then I make a request for money. So let's say that a radio station presenter is playing a song. You are requesting a song. You are not requesting for a song. But if you use the noun, you are making a request for a song. So that is about the use of request and other verbs with prepositions. That is just by the way. Here is the orange. Here are the oranges. There comes Sonia. That is why this gospel song, I like it so much, even though I can sing it so sonorously. They said that there is something that makes me come into your presence, my helper. Wafa. There is something. Something is what? Indefinite pronoun, which is seen as singular. And so because we have something following the verb is, you can say there are something. I mean, just imagine. There is something that makes me come into your presence. You can continue the song for me. So that is about this particular rule. Now when we come to the next rule, it has to do with the use of these, those, this and that. Semantically, when you say this, you are referring to something that is close to you, or things that are close to you. When you say this, it's also a thing that is close to you. But when you say that, it's something that is further in space. When you say those, things that are further in space. Therefore, this is the singular for that one. And then this is also the singular for that one. So, singular, singular, plural, plural. Now, the point is that if I say these, then the verb will be are. When I say this, the verb will be is. The same way, when I say those, I'll use the verb are because that is plural. When I say that, I'll use is. So these are the oranges. This is the orange, close. Those are the oranges. Those is further in space. Then that is the orange. So when you use these, plural, those, plural, are, which means that any verb that will come after those will not take an S. Whatever verb it is, it will not take an S because it will be plural. A verb without the S is plural. The same applies to this one. These demand, these mean, these refer because it's plural. But if it were this one, then the verb will take S, so refers, means, demands. Why do you think Ebony will tell you, may her soul rest in perfect peace? She will tell you that one day you will know these are the words of my mother. Now, one day you will know that these are the words of my mother. She's using are because this is plural. That is about this particular rule. So we have collective nouns, which we also see how we use them as far as subject-verb agreement is concerned. So, what do we mean by collective nouns? Collective nouns name an entire group of people or entire group of things. Now, we have something like class or group. Now, when you have class, class just goes with a singular verb. Always class goes with a singular verb. Group also goes with a singular verb. The group performs well. Let's say that when we have this master science quiz, your school, the group does well. The group is doing well. The group demands something, support from the fans. So, singular verb, class. The class listens to their teacher. The class does well in the test. So, this year group passes the WASI. So, you see group, class, they take singular verb always. However, collective nouns like committee, like government, like a football team, or if you like a club, takes singular verbs or plural verbs depending on the context or the intention of the speaker. For example, sometimes you have the committee has, at another times you see the committee have in a book, in a pamphlet, in any novel that you've taken, even the Bible. You have something like the government demands or the government demand. You also have something like the team is playing well or the team are playing well. The 3 dots infinitive. So the committee has is correct. The committee have is also correct. But what do we mean by this one is correct, that is also correct? When you take has, for example, then it means that you are taking the individual members of the group. So this committee, the individual members, has. So individually, has. Maybe Kojo has, Ama has, Kwame has, Nanama has. But if you are taking the entire group, then you are going to use have. Now, if you have something like the government demands, the government has issued a decree or a policy that people should stay at home so that they can work on the coronavirus. So the government has, at another time, they will say the government have. Both are correct. If you take the government demands or has, then you are talking about the individual members. But if you take the entire thing as a whole, then you go with the plural verb. Sometimes you hear them say, oh, Chelsea is doing well. Chelsea are doing well. Atletico Madrid is doing well, are doing well. Now, if it is, just as those who are individual members, but it's the whole group as one, then you take the are. And so collective nouns take singular and plural verbs, depending on the intention of the speaker. However, when it comes to class and group, they always go with a singular verb. Let's come to the next one, which has to do with the use of each, many, and that of every. Now, a compound or singular subject that is limited by each, many, or every takes a singular verb. I will recapitulate what I said. What I mean is that any subject that is either simple or compound, which is limited by each, many, or every, must take a singular verb. So as we have these examples, we have each, parent, and guardian. So you see that because of the each, this cannot be S, that can also not take an S. Each parent and each guardian was invited to the parent-teacher association meeting. So a compound subject like parents and guardian, compound subject, which is limited by each, will take a singular verb. So if you like, this thing could be done without. It could be omitted and it will read, each was invited to the PTA meeting. Remember, we have nothing like parents and teachers association. We don't have any NIV or standard version. The version is just one. It is parent-teacher hyphenated association, not parents and teachers and other versions that we do have in the system. We also have many a joining person. Many a person is happy to be in Ghana. And then, if you are a blogger, nobody is respecting you. Because as you are coming, we are going to quarantine you. Because we don't know what you have brought. We are living in peace here. Here is now sequestered for us. So today, if you find yourself in Ghana, you are happy. So many a person, many a Ghanaian, many a citizen is happy to be in Ghana. It could have been many people or many persons are happy to be in Ghana. But because it is limited by this, anytime you have a, it's limiting you to a subject. That subject will be singular. You can say a persons or a teens, a boys, a girls. We can say this. And so when we have many a limiting something like this, then we have a singular subject. Therefore, the verb will follow. So many a person is happy. Many a person wants to stay at home to prevent the coronavirus. Now we have every teacher, doctor, engineer, nurse, accountant has a role to play towards nation building. We are building the nation. We want to eradicate coronavirus. So the government says you stay at home. The first gentleman of the land says you stay at home. If you do this, you are in trouble. So we want to build our nation. We want to develop our nation. And we need the total effort, indomitable spirit from all individuals in the country. What do? Every teacher, it can be every teacher because you are limited by every. So a simple subject or compound. Here we have a simple subject like person. Here we have a compound subject where we have teacher, doctor, engineer, nurse, accountant. You are taking them individually, not together, because they are limited by every. So every teacher, doctor, blah, 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 has a role to play towards nation building. That is why when you go to Old Trafford, Manchester United in the UK, they have one stand that is for Sir Alex Ferguson, their hero, their legend. They said that every single one of us loves Sir Alex Ferguson. And so, every single one of us is taking a singular verb. So there is a placard like that on the stands, Old Trafford. Every single one of us loves Sir Alex Ferguson. And that is about this particular rule. The next one has to do with the use of these verbs. Any verb that follows any of these must be in the past participle. So, it is known that I am called it is referred to as the sun has shone brightly. Now we are using the past participle because of these words. So students who do write things like I am called, it is new, or it is no, or something like that. So if you have a statement like she has sewn her dress, you shouldn't be surprised. She has sewn her dress, and we don't sew dress. You are not a farmer. Sewing is for the farmer, the agricultural man. So, the parable of the sower. A man went out to sow seeds. Some fell on rocky ground, some fell along the path and the rest. That is the sower. I'm going to sow a seed. Because of the weather, it's now raining. So I'm going to sow something on my farm. So I sow. Yesterday, I sowed. And the past participle, I have sown a seed. A lot of students out there believes in the sowing of seed, and so I have sown a seed so that it gives me some better results. I have sown. And if it is sew, you sew a dress, you don't sew a dress. Yesterday you sewed, then you have sewn a dress. That is the past participle. It gets interesting sometimes when you have words like sing, words like ring. You realize that the past tense is sang. Here it is rang. Well, but when it comes to the past participle, where you have things like has, then this will turn to you, that will also turn to you. He has rang the bell. He has rang the bell. He has swung. A and then the U. And so this is what we mean by the use of these words, the linking verb, or if you like, the auxiliary verbs, the helping verbs. When you have these words coming before a main verb, that verb must be in the past participle. And that is about that.